G'day, swingers, and welcome to Macca'S Old School Podcast, Episode 3. It's Wednesday, the 18th of August. Well, tonight I'm bringing you a special. And I know that I said I'm not going to crap on about politics and shit all the time, but they've really pissed me off. So tonight I call it the Zing or Wuhan virus update special. Let's start with some of the stars of the show we have tonight. Not actually with me right now, but the stars. Let's just say that, the people. And the tonight's star, number one, is the former Prime Minister of Australia, now the current Premier of the ACT, the Master of Gloom and Doom, Maury Mozza Morrison. Co-starring, folks, the ex-Premier of New South Wales, but self-appointed PM of Oz, the Teflon, I wish you people would listen to me, and lockdowns rock on full pay, Gladys Gladbag. Finally, and how could we forget, the ex-nerd finalist of his high school 5 years running. I really wish I didn't have Mum's little mouth and chin, but I still think I'm tough. Brad Hazard. Hazard? Oh, I'm sorry, it's Hazard, but he's still a fucking hazard. Okay, there is a fourth person, and I'm not going to put her in the starring role tonight. She does make up the quartet of clusterfucks. It's quartet, isn't it? Quartet of clusterfucks. But she's got a lot in her bowl at the moment. She still hasn't made those tough decisions on the last show. Reference the makeup, clothes and dental, orthodontal work which is so urgently required. Also, my sources tell me too, the poor thing's a heavy smoker. I believe that's correct, and tell me if I'm not, but I mean our chief overpaid public pube medical officer is a big smoker, which is a real worry, isn't it? So she's probably, trying to give up the ciggies. I mean, she's a bit of a butt muncher, isn't it? Cigarette butts and butt muncher. So anyway, I'm not going to put her in a starring role because, as I said, she's got a lot in her bowl at the moment. What can you do? Now, geez, guys, for Christ's sake. So, what are we in? I think it's day 54 of the lockdown. 202-ish days since this abortion started, this bloody, the zingy thing started. What is it, 18 months, I think? For fuck's sake, my opinions. Okay, well, let's do my opinions. My opinions, and they're just my opinions, and at the moment we've all got fucking opinions, don't we? Everyone is opinionated. But, I mean, that's what a pretend democracy does. Democracy is fading more and more every day. But really, it just drags on and on. I mean, we're one of the few countries, I believe, that's still doing this lockdown thing. Now, as I've said in the past, of course I believe in the Wuhan virus. Of course I believe in it. There's no question. And I've done all the right things. I'm fully vaccinated, and I wear my mask, and we can't all wait for the mask burning fucking party, can we? Oh, Christ almighty. But, are we, in my opinion, are we really getting punished by these clusterfucks? I mean, does it come down to Gladbag? I mean, she didn't lock down the East, and that became a bit of an issue. And then the Southwest, my God, those poor dudes, they're going through murder out there. It's like solitary confinement out there. But by her not doing that, and Maury not ordering enough vaccine, so we are being punished for that. Is that correct? I mean, a politician can turn all their mistakes around and blame us. We're very, very bad people, the public. Enemy number one. I think these guys are fucking enemy number 4, the 4 of them, and there's a whole bunch of other ones. But why should we be punished for this? Why? It's dragging on and on. Mental health issues, and I feel sorry for everyone there. I mean, for fuck's sake, it's just unbelievable. This negativity Now, Maury, I've given you a shot, mate. You know what I mean? And Jesus, you've lost my vote, and so have you, Gladbag. You've lost my vote. I mean, what's going on with this negativity? Now, I'm old school. I'm from old school, and I mean, in my experience, a good leader should be firm but fair. You know, a good leader, even in the darkest hours of despair, where there seems to be no hope, offer some hope, offer some positivity, change that. Instead of this negativity, non-stop, guys. Oh, it's gloom and doom. Maury, for Christ's sake, offer some hope. I don't think you are. I mean, we've given you ample time to do this. You just let these little nutbag premiers take over and just do whatever they want to do. And it's not good enough, mate. It's not good enough. I've had a gutful, I think we've all had a gutful. It's just... for Christ's sakes. And this, this other thing with like, dob your neighbours in. Don't dob your fucking neighbours in. Don't be a rat or a snitch. In my world, a rat or a snitch you're a low down. You're just a fucking dog. Don't dog your neighbours in. Mind your business. Don't everyone become a fucking sheriff, as I've said in previous episodes, and a deputy and all this and that. I mean, this causes... This creates tension and causes arguments with people. And perhaps that's what they want. Division these days seems very popular in politics all over the world. I don't, I've said this in the last two pods. I don't want to crap on both times, all the time, sorry, about politics. But, these guys have pissed me off lately, and I'm a pretty happy... go-lucky little fella, and it's really peed me off. This snitching, and it's not the Australia guys I'm from, and I was a 60s baby, 70s and 80s rocked. It's not the Australia. In my time, if you dobbed someone in, if you ratted someone out, you got a flogging. You're a dog. That's as simple as that. And this encouraging people to rat on them and stuff like that. A friend of mine recently, his neighbour, someone came over for 2 seconds and dropped something off. The old haggis across the road, the silly old mole. She rang the cops, and then the way it is lately, they'll send like 3 or 4 cars there, and it's like, for Christ's sakes, I was just dropping something, it didn't even go in the house. What do you want to do? You want to arrest him? It's getting to the point where we're going to have to carry blood and urine. We want to fucking, you want to get a coffee? You get a fucking anal probe. I mean, for Christ's sake, calm down. It's getting just ridiculous, and it's been fueled by like the quartet of clusterfucks. It's fueled by these bloody pollies that are overpaid. That doesn't really affect their life at all. I believe there was a scramble just recently out of Canberra, everyone getting their private exclusive taxpayer flights back home. They can still fly, and they've still got all their parliamentary bars and stuff. They can still drink. We can't. We've got thank Christ we've got the bottle-os still open. You shut them down, it's going to be anarchy on the streets, swingers. I mean, honestly. But it's all right for them. So it's always the double standard, triple standard, whatever you want to, throughout life. But I mean, this encouragement of gloom and doom, this negativity, it's got to stop. A real leader in my mind, and I mean, it's common dog fuck, which means common sense. It's an old army thing. But it is common sense that stop doing gloom and doom. Look at something positive. Give us something positive. Instead of saying, dob your neighbours in, don't talk to your neighbours, lock yourself in the shitter or whatever. It's got to stop, guys, So you've lost my vote. We've given you plenty of opportunities. You've handed like I said in the start, Maury, you've handed the whole thing over now. You're just not a PM anymore. You're a Premier of ACT. And you're not doing a good job, I know there's a lot of pressure on Gladbag, the New South Wales one, but everyone says, it is a hard job. And I do feel sorry for her. But don't forget she's still on nearly 8K a week, If you were really sincere, it was, I said that in the last thing. No one's offered a pay cut, which is just unbelievable. They just haven't offered any pay cut whatsoever. And I can't get over that. It's just unbelievable. But don't be a rat. Don't be a snitch. Try and stick to our original values as an Aussie to help each other and do something positive. Fucking hell, Maury. All these cases there's thousands more cases around the world. I tell you, they're not locked down, and you do have to learn to live with this. I mean, the clusterfucks, I think, are starting to come to terms with it. There is no zero. There's not going to be any zero. Zero or spread of the virus. What are you, delusional? Where are you fucking living? I mean, just sit back down and check your bank account. Put a smile on your dial again, for Christ's sakes. Unbelievable. And stop this gloom and doom. Give us some hope and positivity, Oh, well, you might be able to go to the pub soon. I hope so. I miss my local. I mean, fucking hell, it's a great pub. Great people that work there. But, you'll have to be fully vaccinated and you'll have to be desexed and you bring your fucking blood and urine and, I mean, for Christ's sakes, let's go for a beer, I should get one of those hazmat suits. I've got a mate that's a fiery. I might start wearing a fucking hazmat suit locally and see how people handle that. But stop the gloom and doom. It's just disgusting, this fucking negativity. And this is why I'm doing this little special, because I'm pissed off. Macca'S pissed off. He's a middle-aged little pissed-off fella. But it's got to stop. It really does. It's just, and don't fucking be a rat snitch dog on your neighbours. Let's rat on our neighbour. It's not the way we are. It's not the way we are. If someone's doing the wrong thing, well, they're doing the wrong thing. You aren't a marshal or a deputy or a fucking New South Wales sheriff. They're one of them big fuckers that knock on your door when you owe money and shit, and they try and have a look at what gear you've got in the house. But they can't actually come in the house, so don't invite them in. But I mean, this rat, snitch. And, Gladbag's like been leading the charge on it. It's like, for God's sakes, what is wrong with you? Anyway, I've had my couple of minutes there. I'm feeling better now. I'm feeling calm. Feeling relaxed. Now, listen, I'll try and finish up on them fuckers because I've got a couple of other things to say, but am I the only one, and please let me know, am I the only one that's sort of getting pissed off because I like cash, all forms of cash, old school. What's going on with the fucking ATMs? Fill the ATMs up. What's the big deal? I think Commonwealth Bank just posted about a $7 billion profit. And you can't fill up the fucking ATMs? I know my local ones have been dry for over a week. And then you go to those multiplex machine ones that sort of, I'm surprised they don't charge you just to walk up to the fucking thing. They're between sort of $1.50 and $1.80. I don't give a rat's about that. That's fine. But they're complicated. Sometimes you don't get the transaction, but even though you put your card in, they still hit you for the dough. Where's our ATMs? What's going on? What is going on? It's the aftermath of a nuke being launched or something. For Christ's sakes, fill the ATMs. Stop this fucking gloom and doom. Maury, you've lost my vote and Gladbag like the many others, but try. Just try and do something, You have these daily fucking media pantomimes or shows. Everyone's over it, for Christ's sakes. Everyone's over it, And what's the health, what is it, Chanster? The Chanster. I just thought she had really filthy teeth, but I don't think the ciggies... I don't think the ciggies are helping her, which is really giving her the shits as well. But and she still, as we said, she still hasn't done the wardrobing thing, whatever. Anyway, that's my thing. I've had a gutful, so you need to start giving us some positivity because we've had a gutful. Everyone's had a gutful of this whole lockdown situation, and we really do have to sort of start to learn with it. And another tip, Teamsters, don't believe everything you hear on the fucking ABC, everything you hear from journalists and politicians, because they've got to be the two biggest bullshit artists on the planet. So, don't go home and sit in front of that and go, oh, yeah, well, they said this and said that and, dob your neighbour in and do this and lock yourself in the shitter or whatever. It's not necessarily true. Don't forget that, you serve us. Politicians serve us. You're the highest paid public pubes in the land. Start taking a bit of responsibility, you know what I mean? Just pull your fucking head in. That's it. I've had a gutful of you. Now, every week, that's it. Fuck them. everyone will try and drop a little joke in. But my jokes are so unpolitically correct, so I'll try and do some mild ones. But this one, do you remember MASH, the series MASH from the 70s? I loved MASH. It was a great show. And Hot Lips Houlihan, I think it was Loretta Swit played that part, but I used to love that. And it was an old joke there, and Niki Lauda, the old racing car driver. So what's Hot Lips Houlihan and Niki Lauda got in common? They've both been fucked by Major Burns. There's my little ditty for that this week. Now, the last thing I want to get through as well is because I've had a gutful of the Wuhan virus. I've had a gutful like everybody else. God, we've been flogged here in Sydney. But the last thing I want to say is as well, I'm doing a fundraiser. I'm throwing it in the hat myself. The first time I'm throwing 500 cold ones. Everyone's suffering. No one's thinking of the working girls of Sydney, because they're suffering too, bro. They got families. They've got families, and they're suffering as well. So I'm throwing 500 in. I've got other people, a couple of people from work, a couple of tight asses. No, they're not. I just thought I'd throw that in, but no, they're quite the opposite. But anyway, they're going to throw in. We're all going to throw in, and help a working girl, help a prosy. Help a prosy. Give a hand to a prosy. The prosies of Sydney. And I'm quite serious about this. So if you want to make any form of donation, I will make sure it gets in the right hands. I may have bumped into one or two over the years. So I will make sure it gets in the right hands, and I'll take some footage of the presentation or some photos, and they can distribute that. Now, this is going to go for a month, and let's see how much we can raise. Like I said, I'm throwing 500 of my hard-earned spondoolies in. Let's give it a bash and let's have a little laugh. Anyway, I'll be back soon with a bit of old nostalgia from the 70s, a bit of old Aussie stuff. I just had to get that little gritty shit off my chest because, every day, as I said, they have these little pantomimes and shows and little media fucking things, and we're over it. We're over it, guys, And the next prick that says we're all in this together, honestly, we're not all in this together. There's us and them, and we're not all in it together. And thank you to the people of Sydney, how resourceful you are and how go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Sydney says go fuck yourself, Pollies. We've had enough. We've had enough. Anyway, I've got that off my chest. I'll be back real soon with another one. Probably do another one on the weekend, and we'll do some old funny Sydney stuff. Some old stuff from the 60s and 70s and that. But I just had to get a little bit off my chest tonight because it's really pissing me off. I'm like everyone else. I'm not rich, I'm not poor, but I've lost money as well. And, it's time to just stop this bullshit, You realise that you're not going to get to zero, and it's time to stop it. We need to calm down and we need to start learning to live with this. Thank you so much, swingers. I will be back on the weekend. Looking forward to it with some nice little stories. About a couple of weeks, Starichi Medbatsuk informs me it'll be next month. We're going to have the video cameras, so you'll be able to see ugly heads. Mine will be an ugly disguised head, and we'll have a bit of fun with that. It'll make it more exciting, and we can banter more and guests rolling. I've got my mate Froggy. My mate Froggy is a fucking legend. He's in Adelaide, so we're going to do a Zoom thing on Froggy. He's got some bloody interesting stories to tell. And there's so many things. Chefo's still waiting in the background. There's a bit of a delay there, sorry. He's finishing a renovation, so there's a problem there. But also we have to do a Zoom on that because you can't go out anywhere and do anything. It's shut for business. All right, guys. Thank you so much, swingers. Thank you for this little sneak update special of seeing the Wuhan virus. Take care, and I'll talk to you in the weekend. Bye.